Today, lobster is one of the most expensive meals you can order. People pay over $100 for lobster dinners on cruises, at steakhouses, and in luxury resorts. But a long time ago, people were embarrassed to eat it. In fact, lobster was once considered food for prisoners, servants, and the poor. Back in colonial America, lobster was everywhere. Along the northeast coast, especially in places like Maine and Massachusetts, lobsters were so common they would wash up on shore in massive piles. Some reports claimed the piles were several feet high. People didn't see lobster as rare or valuable. They saw it as a nuisance. Colonists even called lobster the cockroach of the sea. And honestly, if you saw one for the first time, you might understand why. They looked strange. They lived on the ocean floor, and at the time, people associated bottom-feeding sea creatures with low-quality food. Wealthy families wanted nothing to do with it. Because lobster was cheap and everywhere, it became food for people with no choice. Prisoners were fed lobster constantly. Servants and apprentices ate it over and over again. Poor families relied on it because it cost almost nothing. And eventually, people got sick of it. Some stories even claim servants demanded contracts limiting how many times they could be fed lobster each week. Imagine complaining because you're forced to eat too much lobster. Today, that sounds unbelievable. But back then, lobster had the reputation of cheap survival food. Not luxury, not fine dining, just cheap protein. Part of the problem was how lobster was prepared. Today, restaurants cook lobster fresh, usually alive, to preserve flavor and safety. But centuries ago, that often didn't happen. People frequently cooked lobster after it had already died. And lobster spoils fast. That led to terrible taste, awful smells, and sometimes even food poisoning. So not only was lobster considered poor people food, it often tasted bad too. Its reputation became even worse. For years, wealthy Americans avoided lobster completely. Then something happened that completely changed lobster forever: the railroad. In the 1800s, trains allowed fresh seafood to travel inland, and for the first time, people far away from the coast got to try lobster. But unlike coastal residents, they didn't grow up surrounded by endless cheap lobster. To them, lobster felt exotic, special, rare. Restaurants started serving lobster to travelers. Hotels marketed it as a premium experience. Then canned lobster became popular too. Suddenly, lobster wasn't associated with poverty anymore. It became fashionable. And once wealthy people started eating lobster, everyone else followed. Over time, lobster populations dropped, demand exploded, prices rose, and lobster transformed into something nobody in colonial America would recognize. Today, lobster is connected to luxury. People order it on anniversaries, at expensive steakhouses, on luxury cruises, at all-inclusive resorts. Some lobster dishes now cost more than entire family dinners, and ironically, the same food prisoners once hated eating became one of the biggest status meals in the world. Lobster might be one of the greatest food reputation comebacks in history, from prison food to luxury dining. And honestly, it makes you wonder what foods people hate today that could become luxury foods in the future. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe for more hidden food history, restaurant secrets, and surprising stories behind the foods we eat every day. And comment below, would you have eaten lobster back when it was considered poor people food?